I found a birthday card in the pocket of my husband's jacket. It wasn't my birthday. I almost threw it away, but for some reason I opened it. The message inside was written by my mother-in-law. And what was written in that card changed everything I believed about my own marriage. I got that card that evening when I was picking up Ryland Hart's jacket to wash, and the washing machine was already filled with water. I was in a hurry. The electric bill sat on the kitchen counter with the words, "Final Notice," stamped across it in red, like it was yelling at me. It was 5:42 p.m. I remember because I had checked the clock twice already, doing the math in my head about what we could pay and what would have to wait. The kitchen smelled faintly like detergent and the chicken I had pulled from the freezer too late. My fingers slipped into his jacket pocket without thinking, just part of the routine. Checking for screws, nails, receipts, things that didn't belong in the wash. That's when I felt something stiff. Not paper soft. Something heavier. I pulled it out. A blue envelope. Gold trim. Clean. Careful. Not something that belonged to our life of dust, work boots, and late bills. On the front, written in neat, controlled handwriting, were 3 words. For my son. It wasn't my birthday. For a second my heart didn't beat at all. Then it slammed against my ribs so hard it felt like I had just run up a flight of stairs. I told myself it was nothing. Just a card. Maybe from a friend. Maybe his mother had given it to him early and he forgot. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I was reading too much into it. I almost threw it away. I even lifted the trash can lid. The smell of last night's leftovers hit me, sour and sharp. I held the envelope over it. Just drop it, I told myself. Be the kind of woman who doesn't go looking for problems. But my hand stopped. I don't know why. Maybe something deep inside me already knew. Behind me, the washing machine hummed low and steady, water sloshing inside like a quiet warning. Outside the window, Tennessee's evening had settled in, cold and gray. A couple of kids' bikes lay scattered across the street. One tipped over like it had been dropped mid-ride. Everything looked normal. Except it didn't feel normal anymore. I opened the envelope. The card inside was simple. White. Thick paper. The kind you buy when you want your words to matter. I recognized the handwriting instantly. Marilyn Hart. My mother-in-law. Her writing was always the same, straight, tight, controlled. Like every letter had rules it had to follow. Like even her handwriting didn't allow mistakes. Happy birthday, sweetheart. I'm so proud of the man you've become. Don't let anyone hold you back. You deserve more than this small life. Love, Mom. My hands went numb. You deserve more than this small life. The words didn't just sit there. They echoed. They moved through me, slow and heavy like something sinking. Small life. Was she talking about me? About our house? Our bills? The nights we sat at the kitchen table counting what was left after groceries? About the way I clipped coupons and stretched meals and made sure our daughter had what she needed before anything else? About Eleonora? I grabbed the edge of the kitchen chair and sat down before my knees gave out. For a moment, it felt like I had stepped into someone else's house. Like everything around me belonged to a version of my life I hadn't agreed to. Then I saw the bottom of the card. A second line. Smaller. Almost hidden. Call me when you're ready. I've already spoken to Brielle. Brielle. The name didn't belong in my life. I read it again, slower this time, like it might change. It didn't. I checked the date on the card. 2 weeks old. Ryland's birthday had been last month. That night he had come home at 9:18 p.m., boots dusty, shoulders tired, and told me his mom had just sent a quick text. Happy birthday. That's all he said. That had been a lie. I closed the card and sat there for a long time, staring at the edge of the table where the laminate was starting to peel. My reflection in the microwave door looked like someone I knew but hadn't really seen in a while. Was I overthinking this? Or was this the kind of moment people miss until it's too late? I'm not dramatic. I don't look for problems. I've spent most of my life making things work. Making things stretch. I wanted simple things. Bills paid, my daughter's dentist covered, a husband who came home at night. That was enough. We lived in a small suburb outside Dayton, Ohio. The kind of place where nothing changes fast. Walmart was 5 minutes away. The old diner on Maple Street still had the same cracked red booths from 1998. The waitress, Donna, knew Eleonora liked her pancakes dry and would slide her a straw without asking. I worked part-time at the community center. 22 hours a week. I used to have a full-time job until last March when they said restructuring, and handed me a box. Rylan worked construction. Some weeks were good. Some weeks weren't. Small life. I opened the card again, running my finger across the words. I had always tolerated Marilyn. He didn't yell. She didn't insult you directly. That would have been easier. She used comparisons instead. Small sentences that landed later. Sabrina's husband just bought her a new SUV. Brielle travels a lot with her son. Some women don't understand ambition. I used to smile. I told myself she was just like that. That it didn't mean anything. But now. Don't let anyone hold you back. That sentence stayed under my skin. That night, Rylan came home at 8:57 p.m. I heard his truck before I saw him. The door opened and cold air came in with him. His boots left small lines of dirt across the floor. He dropped his keys into the bowl by the wall and went straight to the fridge. Long day? I asked. Yeah. He didn't look at me. I didn't show him the card. I watched him instead. The way he moved. The way he avoided my eyes. The way he stood there like he wasn't fully in the room. Did he feel stuck? Did he look at our life and see something small? Are you okay, Kyra? He asked suddenly. Yes. My name is Kyra Denver Hart. And I lied. I'm fine. That night I didn't sleep. At 1:13 a.m. I checked on Eleonora. She was curled up, one arm under her pillow, breathing soft and even. At 2:46 a.m. I turned over and looked at Rylan. He was asleep or pretending to be. He felt miles away. The next morning at 9:08 a.m. I found Brielle. Facebook. Marilyn's friend list. Blonde. Clean smile. Bright life. Photos that didn't include overdue bills or broken appliances. In one picture she stood at an airport gate with a coffee in her hand, smiling like she had somewhere to be that mattered. Caption: New beginnings. Location: Georgia. My stomach tightened. I scrolled. 2 weeks ago, excited for what's coming. What was coming? I had always said I would never go through his phone. I wasn't that woman. But something had already changed. That evening at 7:22 p.m. while he was in the shower, his phone sat on the couch. Screen dark. Quiet. I picked it up. My hands shook. The passcode? Our wedding date. He had never changed it. That hurt more than I expected. I opened his messages. Brielle. Talk to Mom. I'm not rushing you. You deserve happiness too. No, I love you. No obvious affair. Just the same language. Deserve. Happiness. My vision blurred for a second. Not from tears. From something heavier. I put the phone back exactly where it had been. I didn't scream. I didn't throw it. I walked to the bathroom mirror instead. I looked at myself. Dark circles. Hair tied back. A face that looked tired before the day even started. Was this the small life? For the first time I didn't think about ambition. I thought about respect. The next week, Marilyn came over at 3:17 p.m. She carried a pie like she always did. Apple. Store-bought, but she acted like she made it. Hi, Kyra, she said, hugging me lightly, her eyes already scanning the kitchen. I made tea. Rylan sat across from her, back straight like he was 16 again. Birthday dinner in Georgia was lovely, she said. I looked at him. His face tightened for a second. Then it smoothed. Nice, I said. She looked at me. That same small smile. Like she knew. That was the moment I made my decision. Quietly. I wouldn't fight. I wouldn't beg. I wouldn't shrink. The next day at 10:06 a.m., I filled out an enrollment form at the community college. Nursing program. I had started it years ago. I never finished. I always said I would go back. I didn't tell Marilyn. I didn't tell Rylan. At night I studied. Eleonora slept at 8:32 p.m. Rylan scrolled his phone in the living room. I sat at the kitchen table with anatomy diagrams and a cheap highlighter. Every time I felt tired. Small life. I messaged Brielle. Hi, this is Kyra. Rylan's wife. She replied at 9:11 p.m. I didn't know he hadn't told you. That was enough. Weeks passed. One night at 6:48 p.m. Rylan said, Mom mentioned a job in Georgia. Better pay. I nodded. Good for you. He blinked. That's it. I looked at him. If you want to go, go. Silence. Are you giving up? He asked. For the first time. No. I'm done begging someone to stay. He stared at me. Like he was seeing me for the first time. That night he said, You found the card. I nodded. Mom exaggerates, he said. She thinks I could do more. Could you? I asked. He didn't answer. I didn't stop him. I didn't push him. I built my own life. 6 months later. Clinicals. The hospital smelled like disinfectant and something metallic. Machines beeped. People moved fast. I was exhausted. But I felt alive. Rylan didn't go to Georgia. Brielle posted new photos. New man. Marilyn stopped visiting as often. One evening at 8:05 p.m. Rylan sat across from me. Mom says you've changed. I smiled. She's right. He leaned forward. I was scared, he said. I felt stuck. We both were, I said. I just chose to change myself. He took a long breath. I don't want Georgia. I don't want Brielle. I don't want to feel small. I looked at him. Then grow, I said. But don't blame me for your size. He laughed. Soft. We didn't magically fix everything. We went to therapy. We argued. We paid bills together. But I wasn't the same woman anymore. One day Marilyn called. I just want the best for my son. So do I said. That's why I'm building my own life too. Silence. Then, you always were stronger than I thought. I hung up. I didn't win. I didn't lose. I changed. 1 year later. My first full-time nursing job. 7 a.m. shift. I didn't burn the card. I put it in a box. A reminder. Small life. I stood by the window. Same suburb. Same Walmart. Same diner. But I wasn't small anymore. And that made all the difference.